Now, if you remember Ray Hodges was one of the persons that actually was murdered the first week of January of 2025 of this year. Ray Hodges was a U.S. postal worker, and he was actually from Harlem as well. He was in the neighborhood delivering mail, and he was on 118th Street. Shout out to 118th Street. That's where I'm from. But unfortunately, he was in the deli store, and he was just ordering sandwiches and doing his normal route, his routine of his route. And, he got into an argument with this, a transgender. And, words were exchanged. And just so happened, it was over a deli. If you're ever in a deli spot, you know there's like, oh, did you order? Nah, I ain't ordered yet. All right, go ahead. Or if you ordered, you wind up ordering your order. So I guess it was an exchange of words of who was ordering what first. But just so happened, she happened to spit on him. And he threw lemon juice on her. And she went to stabbing. And I mean, she stabbed him all up, probably in the back of his neck, his arteries. You don't even know where the arteries was, injured. But she went berserk over a small argument. But the fact that she spit on him and he threw lemon juice on you, she strike back and started stabbing him. So Ray Hodges, he had a beautiful life. Everyone in the neighborhood knew him, and he was raising his child. His family loved him, and he had his whole life ahead of him. His future was already bright, making his deliveries as always, living his best life, doing what he wanted to do, going on vacation, living his best life. And sadly, it was ended by this particular small argument that happened inside of a deli grocery spot, a bodega on a corner, over a sandwich. So this is what we're dealing with nowadays. Violence hits the streets immediately. Tempers fly up. Anger unleashes rage. And you might be the next target. Will you be the next victim? And that's the question. Will you be the next victim? Will I be the next victim? And that's what we need to understand, that none of us are exempt from an act of violence. Yeah, you can avoid everything. You can avoid everything all day, but you just never know when an anger, a rage, a gang war will unleash in the streets. You walking on your normal day, thinking that, oh, I'm just going to take a walk outside and just, do a little errand, do my route, and then look what happens. An attack happens, you get into a verbal dispute with somebody, an argument, and then next thing you know, this person is ready for war and ready to end your life. It could end in opening fire, someone stabbing you in the wrong artery, and that's it for you. You are heading to the morgue over an argument. And this is what's going on in the communities nowadays. Tempers are flying, resources are depleted, crime is surging, and crime is going up, and no one is safe. Women, elderly, children, workers, whoever, the everyday average American trying to live day to day may be dealing with a lot on their plate, and then that one argument can erupt, and that could be your last day on earth. So let's be mindful of the community. We have to understand that these streets are not safe. I particularly left the Democrat Party since 2015, and here I am 11 years later still carrying the message. Had an individual, my brother, gone, just gone, just like that, life is just over with. Will that be for any of us? It could be any of us. So don't say, oh, well, it may not be me. You never know. One day I was held at gunpoint at 14 years old, and I was robbed as well with a 9mm held at gunpoint. So you don't know what day will be your ending of your days. That's why when you're dealing with things like that, you have to understand, make sure you have an insurance policy as well, that you're covered. But none of us are exempt from an act of violence at any given moment, especially moving around in our communities. We have to be safe. We want a better New York for all of our citizens here. A lot of people are moving to Florida, Texas, and I'm considering it myself because I don't know when violence is going to strike. And again, we have a shortage of men. Inventory is scarce out here, and you have to be able to fend for yourself, and they know women are very vulnerable. Women, children, elderly, even men that are working. I had to give a salute to all the men I see out there working. Thank you for keeping the community safe. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And I do give my gratitude and I show my appreciation to carry the message. And I will continue to do that because this is what we need and our community needs to be talked about. No, our voices will be heard. We will not go silent. I won't go silent. I will speak about it every chance I get. And I will make the community aware you're not safe. So understand this. It could be me today and you tomorrow. Keep coming back. More to be revealed.